Good morning, everybody. I am headed to town right now to go cash some checks at the bank and grab a little bit of breakfast. I might take an off day from the combine today. It is a Monday. We had a pretty heavy frost last night. Everything's really wet this morning. Definitely not a good bean cutting day, although the sun is out. However, the bean head is still down. Have a minor issue with the hydraulic hose on that. So, gotta get that fixed. Not a huge deal. And after that, I am planning on hopefully catching up on some cover crops today. My yard really needs mowed, but I called a buddy that's got a lawn care business. He's gonna come mow the yard, and which is good because if he doesn't, I'm pretty sure I'd need a hay baler after I mowed it if I let it go any further. So it's getting pretty bad. So I hate to pay somebody to do something I'm capable of doing myself, but I just don't have time to do it right now. I would like to finish cutting beans this week, if at all possible, as long as the equipment cooperates. It's looking like we're gonna have some decent weather for it. So I'm hoping to finish up soybeans this week. That'll put me down to about 250 acres of corn left, which would be it. I do have about 200 acres of beans left as well right now, so I'm well over half done, but still got plenty to go. So that's where I'm at right now. You guys hang in there and enjoy the video. You got bacon, egg, cheese, French fries, and ranch. It doesn't get much more Midwest than that. Alright, so we've screwed around in town half the morning and ran our errands. So now it's time to haul a load of corn, get it dumped in the leg. I don't know if I'm gonna shell corn today or drill cover crops. I just bought something that may keep me from drilling any more cover crops. I don't know. I may just broadcast them and lightly work them in, but you guys will get to see that later. Dumping. Just about got this bin filled up. Got a lot of cockleburrs in it though. This load should be a little bit more clean than the last load, but the last load had a bunch of crappy end rows in it, full of cockleburrs, so ain't the prettiest looking corn. Shelling corn again. Got the cart full, which will top off the semi. Probably gonna fill the combine on this round here. Just move back into this back field. Finish the front one up there. That's where the cart and everything's parked. But this one's only about 10 acres back here, so take the semi and dump it. And I'd say most of this will fit on the next semi load. So there's not that much back here. Rolling in pretty good. Got a little pile in there. But the end rows are just killing the average out here on the state ground. I mean, the middle of the field's pretty good, but by the time you shell a bunch of really crappy end rows and you got trees on every side of the field, it just really brings the average down. The middle of the field's good corn. It's just when they're small fields and half of them are end rows and that half's bad corn, it's just not a real great average, but take what I can get, I guess. I'm scooting right through it, running about 5.5 miles an hour right now, so doing a pretty good job. Well, guess what? Everything's full again. So we're gonna walk through this field, across the other field, all the way across the other field, to go get the cart, to go drive it through another field, to get to the truck, to dump it, and then drive it 3 fields back. So yeah, a little bit of a hike, a little bit of a drive. Spend just as much time moving around out here as I do shelling corn, but that's okay. Still putting corn in the bin, money in the bank. it would be a lot cooler if there was somebody in that tractor to drive it right now. Just go dump on the go instead of sitting here. We're back. Well, guess what? Got a blown hydraulic hose. So, it's just got a little pinhole leak in it. I'm gonna try and finish this field and drive it back to the shop, but it's only when I adjust my deck plates that it's got a pinhole leak in it, so it's only leaking when I adjust the deck plates, but I'm gonna try and just leave them alone, finish the field, and get it home and get it fixed. Well, good morning. The key to a good morning is start your morning with a good healthy breakfast, like oatmeal. That's why I eat oatmeal cream pies. It's basically the same thing. This morning, we're gonna go over the combine really good. It's low on hydraulic oil. I see a battery got dropped off for the little Ford tractor. And gonna go over the combine real good and hopefully get the bean head fixed. I've got the combine fixed up where it's able to run the bean head now. I've just got to get the bean head fixed as well. Hoping to switch back to beans today. All right, so the combine's pretty much ready to go. The bean head is pulled apart. I don't think that's going to be too bad to fix. Pioneer sent me some stuff yesterday. I guess it's yard signs, so that's pretty neat. I'll get them put up when I get a chance. There's several of them. I opened 2 of them. I'm not sure what the other 2 are, but Corteva's doing their advertising dealio. It's in a huge box, absolutely massive box for 4 signs, but oh well, that'll be good to put something in. I don't know what yet, but got 2 more of them there. But we are going to take this rig and go get the semi. A buddy had an appointment at GPC to take a load of corn, and he is not going to be able to make it, so I'm going to fill his spot and take a load of my own corn out, and yeah, get a few $1,000s in the bank. The dogs are barking at me as I'm leaving. Apparently they want to go for a ride too, but well, there's a load of corn sold. The end of the planet went. Well, we robbed the parts we need off the old bean head. You know, the one that's completely totaled out. It still has crap wrapped around it. Crinkled auger and all. But robbed a hydraulic hose and a fitting off of it this morning. It pays to total heads out sometimes. Well, it doesn't. It definitely cost me money, but it's handy right now. Parts on hand. Pulling the head into the field. As you can see, this field is massive. Might take all afternoon to cut it, actually. Just kidding. I don't even know if it's like 3 acres. Kind of in the ass. Well, it's a bigger pain in the ass is the fact that I have to take the head off to get to it. Oh well. It's cheap ground, but this is why it's cheap. Jumping around from little field to little field. Different truck today. A buddy of mine is borrowing the semi because he's shelling corn in some bigger fields and had a contract to fill right up the road at the elevator. And since I'm in a bunch of smaller fields that are a pain in the butt, I didn't want to move the semi and the cart, so I just robbed his grain truck today and swapped him. So I'm using his 10-wheeler and he's using the semi. This works out better for both of us. This 10-wheeler gets around pretty good, and I can get it in these little patches like this, and I don't have to worry about moving a semi and a cart just because the semi can't get out in the field. So works out good having this. I'm also down to like, I don't know, 30 or 40 acres worth of seed beans, so hopefully I finish them today. I don't see any reason why I couldn't. So that's the game plan today, is get seed beans finished. A buddy of mine is running the drill right now, putting in some cover crops behind me, drilling some rye. So hopefully he can get some acres knocked out today and has less issues than I've been having, because, well, that wouldn't be hard to have less issues than I've been having. Now I would be using my 10-wheeler that I just bought, but the bed is currently stuck in the air and something's stuck inside the cable that raises and lowers the bed, and I just haven't had time to mess with it right now, so it's sitting in my driveway until further notice. I do need to get that thing going. I think the guy that is currently filling the semi, our semi, when he gets done filling it, I think he's going to go over there and try and work on it and get that thing to come down. We've got the locks in place so the bed can't fall down. We just need to get that cable working back and forth. So trying not to get anybody killed in the process. Underneath the bed, definitely no place to be when you're working on those. They can fall, and they can fall in a hurry. But don't want anybody to get smashed and get killed, so got the safety stops down in it, and he's got a guy with him. That way, if something ever would go south, he would be able to either raise it up or get help or something, in theory. So I think they're going to work on that after a while, and then we'll have 2 10-wheelers to run. And if we get both 10-wheelers running, they're going to truck for me, and we're just going to fill 10-wheelers in the field and cut beans tonight. Well, all was going well until I got a nice sized stick stuck in the rotor. It didn't plug it up or anything, but I could hear the damn thing in there just beating around and wouldn't come out. So I dropped the concaves, got the thing out, but I like to never got that concave stuck back in there. Concave is just this right here. You take that nut all the way off, pull that pin, and it drops down, which wasn't bad, but boy, lifting it back up in there, couldn't hardly get it. So I called a buddy that's shelling corn down here. He stopped in real quick and we got her lifted back up in there. So I think we're back in business, ready to roll again. Dumping. Pretty clean. I'm liking the looks of them. No splits, no cracks, not much trash. I'll take them. Just about to get that bin full. All right, we're back. Let's cut some more beans tonight. There is like no wind whatsoever right now to move the dust away, so this is what I'm dealing with. The pass that I make, when I turn around and come back, I'm eating all the dust of the pass before, so, and it's like this all the way down the field. Good times. Cutting right along though. Got a little bit left in this field and one more little bitty one out here, and the seed beans will be done. So that'll put me down to, I think, around probably 130 acres of beans left, so not too bad, and then about 200 acres of corn, so definitely over half done after today, which is good. So, moving right along. Got plenty of stuff to do after harvest. Just because the combine's done doesn't mean I'm done. Got plenty of projects to tackle just as soon as the combine's done, but the first one's going to be to get this thing cleaned up. So, cutting right along. Not doing too bad. Pretty clean beans out here. Happy with that. So, can't complain. There's another full truck. See if we can't fit the rest of this field in the hopper. Pretty sure I can. Well, I think I'm going to call this the last pass for the night. They're starting to get a little bit tough, which I figured they would. The dust's not moving, so there's no wind moving. And it's all hanging pretty low with the moisture. But do have pretty much a full hopper. Truck's full, so pretty good stopping point. I'm gonna drop the head off of this thing, move it to the next field for in the morning, and yeah, not too bad of a day, honestly. I was due for a good day, so we'll get this thing shut down and see what we can't tear up tonight. Alright, let's see how good of a job I parked. Head's already all unlatched and unhooked. Just gotta drop it on the head cart. And I need to pull up a foot, but that's alright. We'll just move the combine. Wouldn't kill me to clean my windows either. Well, that went pretty perfect. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little deal in the frame right there on the head and right there on the head, and you want it on those two black things. So yeah, hit it perfect first try. Jumping. Last load for the night. I don't know if you guys can see them, but I got my seed tags here, and they go in a little pouch on the bin door. That way the seed company knows what beans are in what bin and from what field they came from. So, yeah, it's dark, you can't see them, but you get the idea of it. Jumping. Combine's not liking it. I'm doing things before it warmed up and started talking. These are just dusty as all get out. That's the thing about them. But Buddy's gonna follow me with the truck. That way, I'm gonna make sure that this is all going in the truck and not over the side. Buddy's gonna follow me in the truck. That way the truck and the combine are in the first field that I'm gonna do tomorrow. So I won't have to worry about moving stuff in the morning. I'll already have it all there, so that'll be nice. Moving on down the road. I am glad to be headed to the last field of seed beans. Very, very, very glad. From here on out, of the 130, 140 acres that I've got left, probably 110 of that is all going to be in big fields. They're 50 acres or better, but I still do have some little patches that I farm. Some of them are basically just because people don't want to mow it off, so they let me farm it. I don't really pay anything for it. I just farm it so they don't have to mow it, but it's a pain in the butt to get equipment in and out of, which is the reason nobody wanted to farm it before me. They're like, I don't know, 2-3 acre patches, but hey, free's free. It's a pain in the butt, but it's a pain in the butt that makes me money. But you know, that's kind of how I got started farming, is farming stuff that nobody else wanted to farm. which consisted of mainly really small ground or really small fields or really poorly fertilized ground that I had to build up, and it's kind of hard to make money on, but I've got some of it to the point now that it's not in bad shape. So you got to start somewhere, and that's where I started 3 years ago. And now that I've got quite a bit more ground under my belt, I've got some good ground, I've got some not so good ground, but it all averages out, and still paying the bank and making the banker happy at the end of the year. So I guess that's all that matters. Pay the banker back just enough to do it again the next year. It's kind of an addiction. Let's see if he can figure out how to let me around or not. We're going to go ahead and hook the head up. I just picked it up off the head cart. It's not actually hooked yet. Trying to maneuver between missing my pickup and not hitting any big trees. Screw the little ones, but hopefully get this thing hooked up and finagled into the next field. The field is down that lane, but I didn't really want to run any beans over. I think that I can wiggle this thing through there, but we're gonna find out. Change of plans. There's no moisture in the air. The grass isn't really wet. So we're gonna try and plug a we're gonna try and finish cutting soybeans. And hopefully not plug a combine. Because the last time I tried this, guess what I did? You guessed it, I plugged a combine. Well, change plans. Ended up trying to cut. I just cut the end rows, and the head was trying to push beans up and everything else, so it wasn't worth plugging a combine over, so I shut her down and quit.